You're live at where? You're live at where?
Welcome everyone to Five Flag Speedway. Eric Weatherholtz is here, getting ready to start this broadcast of the race of the DRL Pro Series. Alongside me is David Wellborn. We all know his voice. David, you still there?
Yeah, I got you, brother. I just making sure we got everything set up.
10-4, and we do apologize for the late start tonight. We're having some lovely broadcast issues, but we are here getting ready to watch 150 laps around, in my personal opinion, my favorite non-NASCAR oval. I love this racetrack. David, have you turned very many laps here?
Yeah, I tried turning one lap here earlier, and I was like 2 seconds off the pace of everybody else. So I decided I'd join you in the booth, and it's a good thing I decided to join tonight.
10-4. Yeah, it's funny. I actually thought I had a little speed myself, and they're going quite a bit faster than me, actually. But this is a fun racetrack. I can't wait to watch this race. 150 laps, like I said, in the night. There's going to be a lot of grip. It's going to be a lot of fun. The only place that's going to be little on the slick side is the exit of turn 4. But other than that, it's going to be a great night of racing all night long. I can't wait to watch this race. Obviously, if we're looking through the field right now, as we're seeing times coming in, Getty Buckner right now at the top of the charts, running a 15.3, and then Nathan Jurgensen. I'm gonna have to come up with a nickname for him because that's a mouthful to say.
It's Jurgensen.
Jurgensen, okay. He is right now sitting at second. Matt Clyde-Smith is sitting in third place. Robbie Armstrong, how about Robbie up there in fourth place, our new DRL Truck Series champion? And Richard Thomas is sitting in fifth.
And it looks like we're still waiting on Brandon Dalton to get him the time in. He better go if he's going to get her done because he got 2 minutes to post a time or he's going to get a black flag first thing.
10-4. It looks like right now he's just sitting on the exit of pit road. He has left his stall. Oh, there he goes. He's rolling now.
We'll follow along with it as he completes this lap right here. Now, in case anybody's wondering, this is his show. I'm just doing all the cameras and everything tonight because seem to have a little problem with our network here this evening.
Yeah, 10-4. We're not really sure what's happening here, but we're going to make do. We're going to try to bring y'all a show. 150 laps. These guys can actually, I was doing some testing earlier, and they can actually do about 140 to 145 laps on fuel. So if they can save a little bit, they can go the distance, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I'm not going to be out there on any track for 140 laps for tires.
I agree with you 100%. I could imagine it's slick when you're pushing it to the limit in the first place, but I don't know if I could do it after 100 laps.
I figure about 60 and 60, and then, they may be able to push it a little bit later, maybe do 70, but that's going to be kind of pushing it. 70 laps on tires here tonight, the way this track eats them up.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I did notice earlier is I'm a little worried that it might be a one groove track. I think the groove is going to start at the bottom and it's going to slowly make its way to the top, but it's not going to go all the way to the top here. I'm talking like a half a groove to a groove higher, because I don't know if you've ever run the top here, David, but the top, especially of turn 1, is rough as can be, and I just don't see anyone being able to run the high line here.
I don't know. Getty Butner's doing a really good job here tonight in that 33 car. Got him a pole and everything.
How about that? We got Buckner and Clyde-Smith up there. Then we got Nathan in the 31, Robbie Armstrong, Richard Thomas, Ben Izinga 6th, Christopher Pope 7th, Tater Bowman 8th, Martin Wenzel. How about him? Martin Wenzel getting the 9th place start. Steve Turner in 10th, PJ O'Leary 11th, Mike Lemon 12th. Actually, you know what? I hadn't seen Lemon's name in quite a while, actually. So I'm glad he's actually back out here racing. Then Brandon Dalton, we just saw him run his lap real quick, 13th. I don't even know how to pronounce this gentleman's name, and I do apologize. We're just going to say David for the time being. Do you know how to pronounce it? David Lindahl? Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I would say, Lindahl.
Okay. Well, David Lindahl is going to be 14th, Justin Allen 15th, and Chris James in 16th. Of course, Five Flag Speedway down in Pensacola, Florida, very famous for the Snowball Derby. Half-mile racetrack, 150 laps. Looks like it's about 70 degrees, so there's going to be plenty of grip on this racetrack as the night goes on.
So what's half
and
of
I cannot wait to see it.
What's half of 150? 75?
75.
All right, so Five Flag 75. All right. I just, because, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we experienced quite a few technical issues that started this race. But this is our Five Flags race here in the Pro Series. The next race is going to be Martinsville, December the 9th. Here again with Eric Weatherholtz broadcasting that. Our very next broadcast is going to be in our Skippy Barbers, Watson Glen. So come back tomorrow night and look forward to doing that.
Absolutely. The Skippy Barbers, man, that first race that we had at Summit Point was amazing. I loved every minute of that race. It was a lot of fun broadcasting it, and I'm definitely going to have to figure out what was going on with tonight, because I want to make sure we bring that race as crystal clear as possible.
Well, let's try to get through this grid real quick as we got Getty Butner on the pole. I didn't even see it. It went by so fast. We'll just let it roll, ladies and gentlemen. We'll let it roll. You can read the names off.
Yeah, I'll run through your top 10 real quick. Getty Buckner starting on the pole. Nathan Jurgensen starting second. Matt Kleischmidt third. Robbie Armstrong fourth. Richard Thomas fifth. Ben Izinga sixth. Christopher Pope is seventh. Taylor Bowman eighth. Excuse me. Martin Wenzel ninth, and Steve Turner 10th. I was just about to say Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Fun racetrack, and I cannot wait to see these guys go 150 laps here.
Well, David Pacecar's in and Getty Butner's down and away.
As you can see, they're going through 1 and 2. The 31 does slide into second place. So he'll be able to get right there in front of Clyde Smith.
We got a car stopped on the backstretch already.
Let's see who that is. I think that was Justin Allen. Oh, yeah, he contact with him and Chris James right at the start, diving into 1. As we have a yellow on the racetrack.
We're going to bring this replay and see if you can't find that other yellow.
I'm not seeing it right now. We'll keep searching. Oh, it looks like it was Chris James coming out of turn 4. Yep, that's what it looks like. He just got a little too much on the throttle coming out of 4, little on the apron, and right there's a tricky spot because there's no paint on the ground, so you don't know where the apron is unless you just know it by feeling.
Yeah, and he had to avoid that wreck there to start with. Oh wow, yeah, he just really broke loose right there.
Yep.
Well, I don't imagine anybody coming down pit road.
Oh no, I mean I think James will. He's got a little bit of damage, but he'll probably be the only one. See right now, Getty Buckner still leading the way as we're starting to get bunched back up. Yep, well, it looks like we have one car on pit road in the back of the pack. But yeah, that's one thing that they're going to have to be careful for is if you put a tire on the apron, if you hit it perfectly on that white line, it will get you just a tiny bit of grip. But if you go below that white line at all, you're going to spin.
You're looking for a ride, huh?
Yep, turn 4 is very tricky because that's where that white line disappears from about the middle of 3 all the way around to the front stretch. So,
Well, I'm glad to see we got a lot of new drivers up in this thing. And we got a lot of old
absolutely.
drivers as well.
Absolutely.
I was checking as I logged into the server earlier. I got to get me a car painted for this.
Yeah, actually, the scheme that I have picked for this when I was doing some practice is I threw on the U.S. Army scheme that I found from Trade and Paints, and I love it. It is a gorgeous paint scheme. Doesn't look like the old Mark Martin, the '01 Mark Martin one. It doesn't look like that. It does look a little different, but and actually it's a little different from Chris James. And see, Chris James has got the U.S. Army scheme on his car, so it's a little different from his too. But I'm a huge fan of the U.S. military. I'm born and raised so close to a military base, so I try to support them as much as I can. As you can see, they're coming around 3 and 4 as we're getting ready to go back to racing here.
Well, I was looking to see what might have been causing the choppiness, but I think it's cleared up.
Yeah, it looks like it might have.
Wow. Somebody
who
just,
was that?
I don't know.
Trying to find out real quick. Yeah, someone got real loose on the outside. That would be Christopher Pope in the 26. Went up and tapped the wall, and up, we got a caution. Trying to catch up for everybody here. It looks like the caution was on the 17 on the back straightaway. Ben Izinga. Let's see what happened here. Well, it was just a simple self-spin. He did a little tap with the brakes trying to avoid the car ahead of him, but he ended up spinning himself out by doing that. I think it was just a matter of unloading the weight improperly.
Good thing is he didn't hit nobody.
Yeah, that's one thing I do like about this racetrack is I have spun here many times and avoided walls and cars. It doesn't look like it, especially going down the front straightaway, but this is a nice wide track because you're typically at the bottom of it, so you're able to get it under control before you slam the wall. And is our leaders lining up to come down pit road? Surely not.
The other one I seen come down the pit road was Ben Izinga and Mike Lemon.
Yep, okay. There for a second, it looked like they were about to, I think they were trying to psych each other out or something. Playing that psyche game. Well, so far this is now lap 12. Getty Buckner still leading the way. Second place right now is the 31. And then Matthew Clyde-Smith, Robbie Armstrong, and Steve Turner round out your top 5. Ben Izinga, unfortunately, is now in last place. So far, our yellows, Chris James and Ben Izinga, are rounding out the field. But everyone's still out there and still on the lead lap. So that's the good news. I want to see more cars finish this thing. And it looks like James is the only one that has substantial damage. Christopher Pope does have a little bit from smacking the turn 1 wall on that last restart, but so far Chris James is the only one with a significant amount of damage. All right. So the light's going to go out. Yep, looks like we're getting ready to go racing as the field is on the back stretch.
I miss my chickens on these cars.
Yeah, we're definitely missing one on Klatschmith's. Who else does anyone else in the field have it? Oh, the green flag's out. Huge jump again for Buckner. Easily clearing the 31 yet again.
No,
and the 31 easily slips behind.
Yeah, his partner's not here, Jeffrey Meyer.
Oh, we got another caution on the back straightaway. Let's see. Give me 1 second. We'll find out who that was.
Maybe Martin Wenzel.
Yep, looks like Wenzel on the 4, and then the 17 of Ben Izinga make contact. Oh no, that was on Izinga. Oh wow, Izinga got real loose. The whole rear end just stepped out on him there, and just collected Wenzel. Of course, we should know better. You can't go 3 wide at 5 flags. There's just 0 grip on the 3rd line. There's very little even on the 2nd groove. Which is probably why Izinga slipped up like that.
Well,
poor Martin Wenzel. I swear, I feel like he wrecks every race by someone.
Yeah, usually it's not his fault, but 17 laps into the race, we got 3 yellows so far. I think some drivers need to calm down and kind of get in the groove of things.
Yeah, I agree with you. And still no takers on pit road, so that's pretty smart. I don't think anyone needs to hit pit road anytime soon.
I think Chris James coming in, try to get a little bit more of that damage fixed. Now, these gentlemen do have a fast repair, is that right?
No, they do not.
Oh, they do not. Okay.
Nope. They do have an 8-tire limit, though. They're only allowed to take 8 tires throughout the race. But yeah, there is no fast repairs because honestly, short track racing, these cars can take a beating and still be pretty fast as long as the engine doesn't get damaged. I mean, the damage that James has, it will slow him down a little bit, but honestly, it's not going to be a big deal as long as he hasn't taken any major engine damage.
So that's 2 sets of 4s, not counting the 4s that you're starting the race with.
Correct. Okay. And they can take 2 sets of 4s, or they can take 4 sets of 2. So, but that actually might be reasonable here tonight. But most racetracks obviously get pretty slick, so taking 2 tires just doesn't make sense.
Well, I do like me some short track racing, that's for sure.
Absolutely, I love short track racing. My favorite car in all of iRacing is the super late model, and if we ever get enough interest, trust me, I'm gonna push the Tater and JP that we need to get a super late model series going. It's fairly easy to control, and it's a lot of fun. But we'll see. We got to keep growing this league, and maybe one day. As the pace car is taking off pit road, and there goes Getty. Green flag is back out. Going through turn 1 and 2. Once again, Getty easily clears the 31, but this time Kleischmidt is going to keep to the inside of the 31 and will take over the 2nd place as they go into 3 and 4. But the 31, he's trying to battle strong on the outside. He's trying. As Kleischmidt, almost. There, you can clearly see contact going on in behind. They are racing very hard, very early. As you can see, finally, Kleischmidt finally clears the 31. And we're pretty much single file throughout the field now. Kleischmidt running a little bit higher line. We got one car looking to the inside, but for the most part, we're staying single file. Oh, we got a car sliding. Caution is out. Yep, that was the 13 of Steve Turner. Looks like it was a self-spin. Yep, it was a self-spin. There was no contact. He just got on the accelerator and it spun right out. And great job from all these drivers. Nobody made contact with them, so fantastic job from everyone.
Well, that's the one thing about these short tracks. You can't get on the gas really, really hard. Wow, they really did do a good job at not hitting him.
Yeah, you saw cars inside and outside of them.
Yeah, you can't throw the power down in these cars. They're just almost like the A cars. They got so much horsepower that when you go to throw them down on the track, it will make that back end step out from up underneath you.
Absolutely. And it's funny because these are honestly they're former A cars essentially, which is where the late model comes from on them. Just obviously, I love these vehicles because they remind me of the old late '90s NASCARs. So I love watching these guys go around the racetrack. It kind of reminds us of the golden age of NASCAR, as we like to call it.
You know, I would love to see a modified series get started.
Yeah, modifieds would be a lot of fun too. I think the SK modified would be pretty fun. I don't know if the full-blown Welland one would. I don't know how many drivers are in our league that are that used to it. Like the SK modified, you can pretty much run flat out on most tracks. And then when the tires get worn, they get a little fun. But I don't know. That would be interesting. We haven't ever had even a special event race with those, so that would definitely be something we have to throw out to see if there's any interest in it for sure. I know I love the SK modified. I've run that quite a bit. I just not very often I ride the I guess the Wheeling Tour modified, I guess you would call it.
I don't know what the difference would be.
The SK has a substantially less horsepower. You can see they're doubling up, going through 3 and 4, and we're getting ready to start yet again. And there goes Getty one more time. Green flag is out, and this time the 31 pulls alongside Clyde Smith as they are nose to tail behind Getty, as he's already got a couple seconds at least. See, they are bunching up behind him. Clyde Smith on the outside, Jurgensen on the inside, and now we have another car to the inside there. That Tater Bowman coming up to 3rd place. And Clyde Smith will slip behind Tater. And then you got Christopher Pope trying to clear Robbie Armstrong.
I don't care what you say. It takes a strong man to drive a Tampax car.
10-4, you're not lying. You would think, number one, you're already thinking it's purple or pink or whatever. And there's a little bit of a wreck in the back. Oh man! Right when I was watching Clyde Smith and Bowman race, and Clyde Smith made very little contact to him, but got him sideways. And now the caution is out again, a little further back. Let's see what happened here. Riding along with Brandon Dalton, and oh man, he just got ran over. Brandon Dalton just got ran over going into turn 1
That he
by
did.
Richard Thomas. Wow.
And Chris James just can't seem to not find a wreck.
Yeah. Man, that stinks because, man, it's the speed difference there was a little weird.
Well, it looks like we got takers now. We got Klein Smith, Justin Allen, and Chris James all coming down pit road.
All right.
But that is on. Tater's got a nice looking car. I just don't think I could be the man that he is and drive a pink Tampax car. I just can't do it.
I don't blame you one bit for having that mentality.
Now I could drive Getty's car, but I don't think I could drive that 76 car. Of course, it all looks the same when you're sitting on the inside of one, don't it?
Yeah, 10-4 it does. None of them look different, and none of them handle any different, obviously, this being a fixed series. Only thing that matters is the man wheeling it.
And I noticed something last week when I ran the Skippy Barbers. You cannot make any changes to that vehicle, not even with brake bias. So what you got is what you got.
Yeah, there's really only I've messed around with those quite a bit in the past. I haven't done it in a long time, but I know when I last raced them pretty hardcore, there was only like 1 or 2 settings you could even change on it, even if it was an open setup. But even those 2 changes is literally just making it more comfortable. It doesn't really change a big difference on it. And you see green flag is back out, and Getty once again, not quite as big of a lead though this time. And this time Tater Bowman's going to clear the 31. Tater's got him a hot ride tonight. He might be taking the Tampax car to the front if he keeps going like he is. He's now looking underneath. Oh, looked like they almost made contact, but not quite. So they're pretty much lining up once again.
Yeah, you got to watch out. You got to watch out for Tater. He's a sleeper.
Well, he's not sleeping very much tonight. He's going to the front, that's for sure. Because you're absolutely correct. He's normally hanging out in the middle, if not the back of the pack, until the end. But he's going to the front tonight, and he's doing it in a hurry.
This is a heck of a battle between Nathan Jurgensen and Christopher Pope right here. It looks like Pope finally got clear.
Oh, Getty got into the wall just a little bit, and there goes Tater. And oh, the 26 got spun. Pope just got spun out by Jurgensen. I don't know about that one. That one might have been a little intentional. I'm not sure, though. That was right through 1 and 2.
We'll take a quick look at this. Well, he keeps chopping his nose. Oh, he's self-spun on his own.
Oh, yeah, I see that now, yep. And 31 just helped spin him back around the right way. And it looks like we have the rest of the field that did not pit beforehand on pit road, which means is Klatchmuth going to be our new leader? Am I seeing that correctly?
Yeah, he stayed out.
Yep, he sure did.
And
Kleinschmidt, Richard Thomas.
Richard Thomas and Brandon Dalton and David
and Chris
Lindell has not come down pit road. So we got Lindell, Dalton, and Richard Thomas still out there on 43 lap old tires.
Oh, wow. He's brave. And you see Tater Bowman wins the race off of pit road, then followed by Getty, Buckner. Robbie Armstrong makes up a couple spots. And then Nathan Jurgensen's going to lose a few. Mike Lemon, Steve Turner, P.J. O'Leary, Martin Wenzel, and Chris Pope's going to be the last guy off.
You know what scares me about getting back here in 6th, 7th, and 8th position is you're right there in the middle of the pack.
Ain't that the truth? And you're going to have, granted, Klatchmuth, his tires are not very old, but still, he's got older tires. And then we have the 66, and let's see who else this is. Wow, the 66, Brandon Dalton in the is that the 03? No, 012, excuse me. And Chris James all with a little bit of damage, so we'll see.
Well, that 66 car, Richard Thomas, looks like it's been through a meat grinder already. So does Brandon Dalton's car. Looks like it's been through one as well.
And we're only 1/3 through this race. And green flag's back out. And Klatchmuth takes a big lead to start it off. I would like to say there's patience going on behind him, but there is not. Looks like the 31 just moved Getty Buckner out of the way to get to the inside of him. Tater Bowman's trying to make passes on the outside, and it looks like it's going to work for him.
Well, sometimes in short track racing, you've got to move them.
Oh, Bowman's underneath Chris James now. Bowman is on the way. Oh, we got another caution in turn 3. Robbie Armstrong.
Grab that real quick.
That's going to be a self spin. Unfortunately, did get into the wall a little bit, but his car doesn't look as bad as some of these other ones here.
Just snapped back on him. He went into a drift and then tried to correct, and it snapped back on him and sent him into the outside wall.
Boy, as we are just now getting ready to cross the next lap. We're only 1/3 through this race. Man, you would think these guys would have calmed down by now, but they're still going at it.
It looks like somebody's gave Tater a good old wham in the rear end. He's got some major rear end damage. I don't imagine there's going to be too many cars out here on this track without damage at this rate that we're going now, because we are, like you say, just now 1/3 of the way through this race, and we're working caution number 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see if I can get a confirmation on that real quick. Let's see if the pace car lights go out here. And they do. We're getting ready to go green flag racing again. And just been told by JP that he's telling these boys to calm down. We still got a long race left. And James Pandolf is race control tonight, trying to keep these boys in line as the pace car is down and away. And green flag, Clyde Smith takes off again. Boy, that out inside line on starts is, they just rocket ship out of there.
Oh, wow.
Big wreck in the back. Wow. and you don't want to point fingers, but you're definitely seeing the same names in every wreck. Let's see if we can get a good look at this. Oh man, it looks like we have a car. Let's see, the 26 of Christopher Pope got into Mike Lemon, and that's what started everything.
Mike Lemon took a hard hit. I'd be amazed if his car is going to even be able to be up to power as we take another quick look at this. Good thing Getty Buckner got clear of it. Yeah, he just drills him right in the rear, and the 88 had nowhere to go.
Yeah, it looks like the 26 is probably done. He's got quite a bit of damage. He's smoking and everything, so he's probably done for the night. Robbie Armstrong's on pit road. Martin Wenzel, I think, took a little bit of damage from that. Man, this is slowly starting to look like a destruction derby more than a race, that's for sure. I really only see 2 or 3 cars that are really clean. Like Clyde Smith has still got a clean car. For the most part, Tater Bowman still looks clean. I know he's got a little rear end damage. The 31 still looks good. The 82 still looks okay. The 12, the 13, and the 33. They're really the only ones that have either no or very little damage. Kind of surprised that Getty is not further up in the field, actually.
I think he's just taking his time trying to get back through this traffic here. He's got a little bit of damage on his rear end, and he's got the fenders fixed on the front end of it. So I think he's just taking his time. He wants to win this race, and between him and Kleinsmith, they got really good fast cars out here. So
Yeah, it looks like it's going to come down between them two or Taylor Bowman, as the lights are out on the pace car, getting ready to go racing again. And I'm actually, the reason why I think I'm so surprised, and I do believe he's taking his time for sure, but him and Taylor Bowman came out of the pits about the same, and Bowman has already worked his way up to 4th, while Getty's still back in 9th. But yeah, you might be right on. He might be just taking his time, you know, slowly getting back forward. Obviously trying to miss any incidents, as the pace car is now on pit road, and green flag is out. Once again, the inside line prevails.
Taylor got sideways right off the get-go. He must have spun his tires.
Now I think the 82. Let me fact check this, but I think the 82 might have got into him just a little bit. Yeah, the 82 got into him just a little bit on turn 4. Oh, not just a little bit. He drilled him pretty hard, actually.
Yeah, he knocked the rear end of that car up even higher than what it was.
So we rejoin the action. Clyde Smith is gone. He has shot out of there right now. And that little scuffle probably saved him. There went
Getty.
Oh, we got another one.
That was Getty Butner.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he took a hard ride that time. See what happens to him is he's got the 13 right on his back door. He goes up underneath him. And he just drills him. Wow. He just drills him.
Yeah, the third. That's borderline calling that a dive bomb at that point.
I would say it's a dive bomb.
Yeah. Because I get that the 13 probably has a different line, but when you're behind someone else, or when you're on the inside or looking to the inside of someone, you have to adjust your lines.
Yeah, he drove that thing way down in there, and there was no way he was going to make that turn no matter what. He was going to slide up the track. He couldn't have kept his nose down there, even if he wanted to.
Oh, man, I feel bad for Getty. He had such a fast race car.
I imagine he's going to be coming in and getting some of that damage fixed. He has to.
It doesn't look like it. He's staying on the racetrack.
He stayed out. But he did spin her clean, so.
Well, I mean, like I said, as long as his engine's still good, I'm sure Getty's smart enough to know to check the RPM on the engine to see if it's still running good. I'm sure he did that, popped the clutch in, and saw that it's still running good. So maybe that's what he's thinking.
Man, he's thinking also that he gained 3 positions because he was in 12th and now he's back up to 9th. So.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, at this point, I would almost go to the back of the pack and just ride and let these drivers tear their cars up, and then wait till we get to the last 25 laps before I start trying to race.
Yeah, man, it's hard to tell because I think the top 4 are racing clean, but it's just getting back up there that's going to make a difference. It's definitely going to be a tall order to Getty to get through this cleanly. I mean, we've even seen on one restart where, you know, Tater is actually restarting 4th for the last few times. I mean, he even got rear-ended in 4th. So yeah, you might be spot on, David. See the lights of the pace car is out as they're doubling up, getting ready to go again. I mean, unfortunately, I can't talk to none of these guys right now, but if I could, I'd be stressing to them patience. Patience, patience, patience.
Well, you know JP's already said that several times over it. And I would be surprised if some drivers are not going to start getting parked.
Absolutely. So green flag is out. Clyde Smith clears the field again. See if he gets a big lead this time, though, because Tater is going to be coming if he can clear these 2 guys.
Clyde Smith definitely got him a good jump. Getty Butner's on the move.
Yes, he is inside of the Napa car.
Wow.
Oh, we had some.
Chris James went straight to the wall.
He kept it going though. Let's see if I can analyze that real quick. Looks like he just went up the racetrack. I don't really no explanation to it. Oh, I see what it was. Oh, I feel bad for him now. The 10 actually blinked out, and he made contact with the 10 actually. That stinks. He was 100% innocent in that.
Well, Brandon Dalton's decided he's going to ride the wall. He keeps it going and everything. Getty Butler's moved his way up into the 5th place.
And look at Clyde Smith. He's already got almost a straightaway on the field. Clyde Smith is just shot out of there right now.
Well, when you don't have nobody challenging you, you can pretty much do that.
Yeah, just concentrate on hitting your marks and you're gone. And this might be our longest run so far, this race. They're still getting racy back here in the back, but it looks like they're starting to get things figured out. And I can see 2 purple-pink cars on the tail end of 2 other cars. That would be Getty Buckner and Tater Bowman, both trying to get around. Let's see, who is this?
David Lindell for Getty Buckner and Nathan Jurgensen for Tater.
Yep. Jurgensen, though, it looks like he is starting to gap Bowman a little bit. And it looks like both of them are starting to, I could be wrong, but it looks like both of them might be reeling in Clyde Smith a little bit.
Yeah, I believe you're right on that one. I think the 31 of Nathan Jurgensen and Tater Bowman are starting to gain a little bit on Matthew Kleinsmith.
I'm sitting here watching their lines going in and out of the turns, Bowman and Jurgensen, and it's crazy how different they are. Tater is going in real shallow and then just riding up. He's having a very early apex. And then the 31 is doing the complete opposite. He's having a very late apex.
Well, they're definitely gaining on Kleinsmith.
Let's check the lap times. Bowman ran a 15.8. Jurgensen 15.9 and Clyde Smith 15.9. So
looks like Getty's not comfortable riding the high side as he's lost 3 positions already.
So we can see what happened with him. Yeah, I think his car, unfortunately, the you could say massacre it has taken so far tonight is starting to wear on the car itself.
Well, now he does have 37 laps on his tires, but I mean, you got David Lindell out there. He's running on 81 laps on his tires. He's not even come down pit road yet.
Good Lord.
And Richard Thomas is the same way.
Let's see, I'm going to check lap times again. Bowman just ran a 16.2, Jurgensen a 16 flat, and Clyde Smith a 15.9. So Clyde Smith starting to open it back up, it looks like.
Oh, I come back.
We got a caution.
I don't know who that was, but I popped in on it.
It looks like it is
Lindell.
Robbie Armstrong in the 3.
And Robbie Armstrong and Martin Wenzel.
Oh.
Let's take a quick look at this.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, the UPS car just went flying. I think that's the second car tonight that Martin Wenzel has flipped. Oh, and David Lindell is done. He's smoking. And Martin Wenzel is smoking pretty bad too, so he's probably done also.
That's quite unfortunate for these gentlemen, as Lindell lost it on his own and the drivers just had no place to go. Martin Wenzel hit him like, like he didn't get the memo that they were spinning.
And I know we were talking about it earlier as I'm looking at the field, but Getty Buckner is back to being the next to the last guy in line. Thankfully, it's a little further up now. He's running 6.
Well, it looks like Richard Thomas finally decided to come in and get him some tires. And Brendel, we know he's coming in because his car is pretty much damaged.
You know, Clyde Smith may not have a bad idea just to stay out the rest of the race. That might be the best place for him. Honestly, if I was in his position, I wouldn't be hitting pit road at all for the rest of the night.
Well, that means he's got to run about 80 laps or 70 laps more on them tires. I don't know, man.
That's definitely a tall order, that's for sure.
But it does seem like track position is everything here tonight. You go all the way back. You go all the way back to 7th position, and those drivers all the way from 7th all the way back are the ones that come in for tires.
So why? I'm curious to know why Getty did not pit. I wonder what his. I'm sure he probably didn't think that everybody behind him was going to pit, but Getty did not pit this time, even though he needs to. Honestly, I think he needs to come in and repair some damage. I mean, I think he's without a doubt top 4 car. And for him not to repair this damage now, it's better to do it now than later.
And I just don't think he's comfortable on the high side.
Yeah, I would agree with that because earlier one car got underneath him and then they all went by him. So as the lights are out, going through 3 and 4, we're getting ready to go racing again. Clyde Smith leads him down yet again, and he's out of there. The 31 hangs with him a little bit this time. They're going through 1 and 2, and as Clyde Smith dives into 1, he is going to actually gap him, actually, like he has been all night long. And we got cars all over the place, some on the high, some on the low, some in the middle, and the back of the pack.
Getty Butner had to go 3 wide there.
Whew. He's a brave man.
He didn't have no choice. Oh,
the 13 spinning.
That's Steven Turner. And he's still got a pretty clean car after all that.
Did he make contact with anything?
Nope. Just spun her right on around.
For the most part, considering how many spins that we've had, even the self-spins, these guys are doing a great job at making sure it's not worse. We've had a few incidents, of course, where that is not the case, but for the most part, it hasn't been. They've been trying to duck and dive all as much as possible. We're having pit stops. It looks like Getty is finally coming down pit road.
I think he heard you talking on the radio.
Yeah, hopefully he gets all that damage repaired. I don't know where he's at on his tire count, but 4 fresh tires would be good too.
Well, that's not too bad. That's going to leave him with about 57 laps to go here. So, yeah, I think that's probably a smart call. Clyde Smith probably should have come down as well, but, you know, track position the way it is right now, I just don't think that he can give that up to Jurgensen and Bowman.
Yeah, I will second that. And Brandon Dalton slowly making his way up there. He's running 4th right now. And Justin Allen, he's got his way back up to 5th. You can pretty much say from after watching the race tonight, from 4th on back have been in something. So it's hard to complain when you're running 4th place and you've been in some sort of incident.
Well, Getty definitely got some damage fixed because he was sitting on pit road for 29 seconds. So, and he just did make it out in front of that pace car.
Good.
So it's probably not a bad call there.
Yeah, I definitely want to see him on the lead lap for sure. We all know how fast he is. Of course, he sat on the pole, so we definitely want to see him up there.
Now, what you got to do is you got to sit back and you got to relax. I mean, you got 57 laps to go or 50, 56 at this point right now. Don't get in a hurry. Take it and make your moves when you can.
Yeah, 10-4. I've always had a mentality if right on the launch of the start I can get 1 or 2 guys, I'm doing pretty good. But outside of that, just take it one at a time. I'm actually very impressed with how clean the 59 and the 31 are, both of them are. All right, so we have one to go here. Lights on the pace car is out. So Clyde Smith is going to lead him around going down the back stretch. Right now, our top 10 is Clyde Smith, Jurgensen, Bowman, Dalton, Justin Allen, Chris James, Richard Thomas, P.J. O'Leary, Big Getty Buckner, and Steve Turner. As the green flag is out, and it looks like Tater Bowman's going to get to the inside of the 31 as they dive into 1 and 2. And he clears them already. Ooh. That may not be good news for Clyde Smith. We'll find out. Oh, Clyde Smith loses a lot of time off of 4 there. Oh, contact. The 10 gets into another car.
That's Justin Allen going for another ride. So take a look at that and see what happens here as the
10 gets into the 12, it looks like, or the 0-12, Brandon Dalton. That's been happening a lot.
He just dive-bombed him.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that's been happening a lot, because it looks like the guy on the outside is where they're supposed to be, but the guy on the inside, instead of being on the inside line, he's on the second line. And you can't have 2 guys on the second line.
No, it don't work. It does not work.
Oh, and just looking through the replay, we got several cars that took damage. Getty took a tiny bit of damage, but in that incident, the 10, the 0-12, the 88, and the 66 all have taken some sort of damage in that.
I didn't even see Getty take damage on that one, but then again,
yeah,
I wasn't focused on him.
Bit. He got very little bit in the rear end. The 12 was on the racetrack, and he was squeezing in between him and the cars on the apron, and the 12 got into him just a little bit. The 12, honestly, he should have held his brakes there, and he did not. So that's nothing Getty did wrong. He just just a situation.
I know Getty's not going to be happy with the top 5. He wasn't happy with the top 5 last week.
Absolutely, especially all the speed he has.
Well, we got 50 laps to go this time by, ladies and gentlemen.
50 to go. And the lights are still on the pace car, so we're going to have at least 2 more laps. So Tater Bowman actually, in all that chaos, he cleared the 31.
I think he stands a good shot at getting past Kleinsmith.
Yes, he does.
There's about 10.
31 is on pit road. I don't know if we caught that or not, but the 31's on pit road.
Well, there's about 10 laps difference between Bowman and Kleinsmith, with Kleinsmith being the oldest. Then you got everybody else with like 17, 10, 2, and 1. So it's going to be a mess when these gentlemen go back to green flag racing, as everybody in the top 3 back got fresher tires than the 2 leaders here.
I'm curious to know if the 31 can get back up to the front, because he's got the freshest tires with the most speed. And the pace car is down.
And the least amount of damage.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a matter of can he get through it. I'm sure he's going to take his time. Boy, the top 2, right now they're in a league of their own. They had to gain at least a half a second right there. Clyde Smith and Bowman, is going to be between them 2 right now. You can see Getty is starting to make his way up there, though. He's looking to the inside to take 4th.
And he got it.
Yep. So Getty's in 4th. Let's see what he has He has pretty fresh tires, so.
Now, we ain't seen Steven Turner do too much here tonight, but he's definitely working on the back end of Bowman right now. And he's got a pretty decent car, too. Pretty clean.
Yeah, one thing I have noticed with Turner, even though they were just self-spins and he didn't take much damage, he has done 2 self-spins tonight, though. So I'm hoping he doesn't do that to the inside of Mr. Bowman. He would not be too happy if that happened.
Well, I hate to point this out, but Getty Buckner's on a rail. He is coming.
Yes, he is. And with these two racing side by side, with Turner looking, oh, Bowman just slams the door on Buckner. That was actually very smart for him to do that. Fantastic driving there from Bowman. Well, it looks like he's just going to open it back up, though, as they're going through 3 and 4. Tater is falling like a rock all of a sudden. I'm interested to know what's going on.
Tires, baby, tires.
Yeah, maybe Clyde Smith, I guess he's been used to this clean air all night long, so maybe his is a little cleaner. He's got a little bit more rubber on them tires than Tater.
Well, Getty Buckner and Steven Turner have the exact same amount of tire wear on their tires. And
yeah,
they are coming. They are really running down Clyde Smith.
Yeah, as of right now, Tater and Matt Klatschmidt both have 111, now 112 laps on their tires. And Turner and Buckner both have 20 laps. Big difference.
Who's got 100 and some laps?
Clyde Smith and Tater both.
No, 78 for Clyde Smith, and Bowman's got 69.
Oh, okay. Well, my sources are a little off. Is it 21 for Buckner and Turner?
Yeah.
Okay, so that I do have accurate then. You see, Getty's looking. He's starting to look to the outside.
I think he's going to do it on the outside.
I will be extremely impressed. Oh, wow.
He did it.
He definitely had some help, but he did it. Turner got a little loose, but that's all it takes. Getty is coming.
And they're starting to come up on Martin Winslow, lap traffic.
Well, Martin, thankfully, is a very good racer. He'll probably stay to the high side here. Yep.
And
we got a
yellow
caution.
flag. Look like Robbie Gordon.
No,
Bowman.
like Tater Bowman.
Bowman.
Oh, no. Oh, he got on the apron. That's exactly what I was telling you before we started the race. Well, you know he's coming in for fresh tires now. Oh, man, I bet Getty was starting to smell it, too.
Well, I'd be surprised if Clyde Smith doesn't come down. Oh, Butler acted like he was going to.
Oh, man, yes. The whole field was going there for a second except for Matt.
I'm pretty sure if Butler had dropped off down there, I bet half the field would have went with him.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I'm glad he didn't, because I have a feeling 1 or 2 guys would have been like, screw it, I'm staying out. So I'm glad he didn't, because he needs to be in second. Even if he's the first guy off of pit road, I have a feeling 1 or 2 guys would have stayed out. You're talking most of these guys, excluding Clyde Smith, almost everyone now actually in the field, except for Clyde Smith, has 35 or less laps on their tires now. You want to fact check me on that real quick, David?
Yeah, you're right. 34 or less.
So
and Clyde Smith has 85. I just can't see being out there on 85 lap old tires and still being able to maintain the lead like that against drivers that only have like 20 laps on your tires.
That's one thing I like about short track racing, is it does make sort of an equalizer, which I love personally. And I'm also interested to know how many of these guys are on the 8 count of tires, because we've seen a lot of guys going up and down pit road. And I don't know for sure, but has Clyde Smith already hit that limit?
Clyde Smith? No, he's only been in once.
Okay, well, so he's just leaving 4 tires on the table then. We'll call it strategy or crazy. We'll find out at the end of the race.
Well, I thought tire wear would fall off pretty quick here, but it doesn't seem to be doing that. If he's able to maintain, I mean, he almost had a full second lead over Butner there.
Yeah, I'm curious. I want to see a long run of at least 20 laps, and the reason why I say that is because of that second. I don't know how much of it is just the launch off the line, because you do get a huge launch since the entrance of pit road is so far back. So, and you see the lights are out on the pace car. They're getting ready to go down the back stretch.
I'm just surprised that he's not spinning his tires when he takes off.
Yeah, that I am a little surprised about. The track is pretty cool, but nonetheless, having 80 lap tires, that is a bit surprising. See the pace car is going down. Buckner's getting ready, green flag, and Clyde Smith takes off.
And he's got the 31 of Jurgensen all over the back door of Getty Butner.
So is the 13. And it looks like he will maintain his position. And maybe the 13 and the 31 getting to racing to where Getty can just focus on Clyde Smith. See, a little further in the back of the pack, Bowman has already got one spot, so he's coming. We'll keep our eye on him as the night goes on. And it looks like he's about to get a second spot now as we're talking. You see the line difference between them is you can see, oh man, Buckner or Getty is coming. Getty is coming.
Oh! Hang on to it, Getty. Hang on to it.
He tried to hammer that throttle.
I don't see how he didn't lose it right there. That car was hospital wobbling all over the place.
That's a fine piece of driving there from Getty. And Tater is still sitting in the same spot. He's actually right behind this pack that we're looking at. Hard to move when they're racing side by side in front of you. Getty, he needs to recuperate and mount another charge now. The laps are going away quickly.
You got less than 25 to go, and he's running down him. He's running him down, but he's still got Jurgensen right there on his back door. He's got to worry about him.
Oh, Tater Bowman just spun in 3 and 4.
I know that's not what Getty wanted to see.
No, he needs a long run for sure. Oh man, Tater. So I was kind of keeping my eye back here a little bit, and they are really racy in the back here. And Tater was trying to get around these guys, and they're starting to get 3 wide. There's one car about to spin in front of them, and they bunched up. And then it looks like Robbie Armstrong just got into them and spun them.
Yeah, he got 3 wide there, trying to check up for Christopher Pope, I think, or Chris James. Yeah, Chris James, and just was quite unfortunate. I mean, I know Robbie didn't mean to get into him, but when Chris James does this little hospital wobble right here, Bowman, he checks up on him, and then Robbie goes 3 wide and just barely gets into the side of Bowman. Luckily, Bowman didn't get hit by anybody else.
Yep, just a simple spin, thankfully.
20 laps to go. So it's going to be around 20. I say we're going to start this race with 21 to go. I'd be surprised if we make it green to the finish. But what I'm going to really be surprised with is if that Clyde Smith, the fastest chicken in the South, is able to maintain that. I mean,
that really.
He's got 130 laps on his tires. I just don't see how he's out there. No, he's got 98 laps on his tires.
Wow, that's crazy. So he's easily going to eclipse 100.
Yeah, easy. Especially considering how he's not coming down pit road.
Oh no, his fate has been sealed now. He's staying out the rest of this race no matter what.
And his car looks perfect. I mean, no damage at all. I'll be surprised if he even has an incident point at this point. So, I mean, it's going to be really hard for these drivers to catch a car that is perfect. And when you got such a calculating driver like Kleinsmith, a technical driver like he is, it's just really hard to do anything with him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a very precise kind of driver, and he's very good at ticking off. Like if you tell any of these guys in this field, hey, I need 20 perfect laps, I mean, who else would you go with? And the lights are out. They're getting ready to go racing as they're coming through 3 and 4 again. And green, green, green. Klatchmith clears Getty, and it looks like the 31's going to get alongside Getty. That's not good. We saw Getty fall like a rock earlier when he was stuck on that outside line. But we have seen him pass cars on the outside, so let us see. And
he's fighting back.
In the back, Tater, tried to take it 3 wide there for a second. You can tell Tater's definitely getting impatient. Everybody kept it together, though.
Getty, I think he's going to actually end up passing the 31 on the high side right here. Yellow flag. Who is that?
I think it was Tater again.
It is Tater. I think Tater's just about had enough for one night.
Let's see what happened here. He just got on the brakes a little too hard. That's one thing you got to be very careful with these cars is they, if you slam on the brakes, they will spin out because they have so much brake in them. They'll come right around. Klatchmith may end up getting a win under yellow if we keep going like this.
I hope it's a green flag finish.
Me too. We closing in on about 10 to go.
I mean, either way, any way it finishes this race here, Getty ain't got nothing to hang his head about. I mean, he had a long, hard fought race. Even though he started on the pole, he's still going to come out with a nice second-place finish as of right now. Not going to be a bad points night for him. I don't know where he is in the point standings. Do we even have point standings update here? Actually we do. We got it. Justin Allen is leading. Martin Wenzel, believe it or not, is in second. Garrett Maines third. Robbie Armstrong fourth. Spencer Tart fifth. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Spencer unfortunately couldn't make it tonight. He was having some technical issues and just couldn't make the race, unfortunately. He wasn't too happy about it.
Well, Martin's going to lose quite a few positions here tonight as far as points are concerned.
Well, I don't know, though, because if you really think about it now, Robbie, of course, is right there, but really the only 2 guys he's got to worry about is Robbie and Chris James. Because everybody else, Justin Allen, Garrett Maines, Spencer Tart, or even Richard Springer, unfortunately didn't make the race tonight.
Well, that's true. And then he is going to finish 12th, I believe, no matter what, as I don't think David Lindell is going to be able to make up the amount of laps that's needed. He needs 6 more laps to pass Wenzel.
And I
he
think
might
he's
get
done.
it. He might get it. But if he does, he's just going to finish in 12th. And Bowman did not come back out on the track, did he?
No, I think Tater is going to be calling it quits for tonight because he didn't hit anything.
No, but he's probably fuming. Yeah, he's probably fuming.
Yeah, he's definitely had a rough night. Him and Getty both has had an extremely rough night.
9 laps to go this time by, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to finish this thing hopefully under green.
You're getting ready to go around 3 and 4 as the pace car's getting ready to dive off. And green, green, green.
Well, Getty got him a
As
good jump
Kleischman-
that time.
Ooh. I don't know if that will get caught or not, but Getty definitely came down before the start-finish line.
Yeah, but he was clear of the 31 when he did so.
Okay. Oh, we got a slider in the back, but it looks like everybody's clear. Let's see if he oh, Getty's looking to the inside of Kleischman. They're side by side, going down the back straightaway. Very close racing right here as Getty clears Kleischman. Wow. And now the 31's going to get alongside Kleischman. Now those tires are going to show up. Oh, and the 10's in the wall. We got cars sitting everywhere now.
I believe that's going to be the race there.
Wow.
I think that's the race. We might get a green-white checker, but it's going to be real close. How about that? How about that pass there for Getty Butner there at the end? He knew he had to go.
Yeah, that was an amazing pass. He said, I had to go now. I don't know how long this caution is going to be lasting. The caution, the yellow looks like it was on the 10. Justin Allen looks like he did the same thing he's been doing all night long, unfortunately, where he kind of dives into turn 1 a little harder than most people, and he just gets on the brakes, and unfortunately, not much you can do once you do that. And I'm actually going to try to catch up real quick. We had another car that was, let's see. Yeah, it looks like it was Brandon Dalton was the other car that actually spun out before that no caution came out. He made contact with the 66. So we had two different incidents happening at the same time. And Brandon Dalton might be done for the night, unfortunately, because he does have quite a bit of damage.
We're taking a look at this Dalton replay right now.
It was a little strange. I don't know if he's got suspension damage or what, but him and the 66 made contact in 3 and 4, and then they went around. He went basically down the front straightaway and then just didn't turn at all in 1 and 2, so he might have some suspension damage.
Yeah, it looks like his front end's kind of boogered up there.
And unfortunately for the 10, I know he's trying real hard, but I mean, I think that was it. It's got to be at least the second or third spin going into turn 1 for him, where he's going in. You know, nothing wrong with it. Of course, it's his racing line, but he's diving into turn 1 a little bit harder than everybody else. But the problem is when there's someone right in front of him, his options are going to be either spin the car out in front of him, or he's going to have to slam on the brakes a little bit harder, which is spinning himself out. Let's see if the lights go off of the pace car this time. If they do, we're going to get 1 lap. And you know the 31's on the outside. I bet he's hungry.
Yeah, but that 13 is too.
Oh, the lights are out. We're going to get a lap. Oh, Lord. This is going to be it's going to be some fun racing here. Clyde Smith did not pit, so unfortunately he will be restarting 4th, and I don't know if he's got any rubber left on them tires to get any better than that.
Well, it's all this race here is Getty's to lose because he's going to be able to do the jump. He didn't waste no time. He's down and away.
Green flag is out. He will easily clear the 31. Let's see if the 31 drives real deep. And it doesn't look like he's going to. He may just sit back and finish second. Oh, him and the 13 make contact for second place, and the 13 might be taking second place. It doesn't quite clear him. Oh, they're close for second place as Getty Buckner is going to come home with the win. I think the 31 just barely got second place.
He did. Jurgensen got second. Stephen Turner 3rd. Matthew Clousmith 4th. Robbie Armstrong 5th. P.J. O'Leary 6th. Richard Thomas 7th. Chris James 8th. And Justin Allen 9th. And Brandon Dalton rounds out our top 10. Who you want to grab first for the interviews?
Well, we're going to let Getty do his victory celebration here. We're going to see if we can't get a hold of Mr. Robbie Armstrong first. We're going to start from the bottom and go up.
All righty.
As Getty is right now burning it down.
Mr. Armstrong, you got a copy? Did I move him into the right channel?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, brother. Well, not a bad night for you. Can you hear us?
Robbie, do you have a copy?
There we go. How about that? You got me now?
There we go.
Sorry, I was hitting the wrong button. Yeah, it was a interesting night, that's for sure.
Well, tell us about your night. I mean, I'm sure it had to have been a little frustrating. There wasn't very much green flag racing, but it worked out for you. You were in a couple incidents, but for the most part, I would take a top 5 after a night like that.
Yes, I would definitely take a top 5. I had 2.5 minutes of damage there. After I spun out, I only had about 30 seconds. I got all that fixed, and I started at the back, and they wrecked in front of me, and I got just about stopped at Martin. He slid in there. Nothing he could do about it. And then from then on, it was just a fight. Get back, get the damage fixed. And then I was able to get some tires there. I think 20, 30 laps to go, and that was my last 2, but that really paid off. I could keep it turned coming off and get up underneath the people and made a run back there to 5th.
10-4. What was the track getting real slick as the night went on, as the rubber started getting put down?
I didn't think it was too bad. Actually, I thought at the beginning of the race it was a little bit worse. Once some rubber got down, I found a little bit more grip. I was able to put a little bit more rear brake into it and really get the car to turn.
Well, awesome. I'm top 5. Like I said, I would take that any night that I could come up with. Obviously, with all the incidents happening. I mean, I think I saw you in at least 2 or 3 of them for sure. So, not a bad night. I would take it for sure. You can go ahead and give your shout outs if you want to.
First off, thanks for broadcasting. Y'all do an excellent job. I think JP was race control tonight. Excellent job, and I want to thank Dunder Mifflin right here. If you need to get some couple reams of glossy stock, give them a call.
10-4. Awesome. Well, congratulations on your top 5, Robbie. And also, I think I could be wrong, but if you're not the points leader, you're going to be very close to it as we get the new point standings out. So, congratulations.
Not another championship.
We'll see what happens. I'm gonna point them to death.
I hear you.
Yeah, Robbie is our DRL Winona Road Truck Series champion also, so he's going to come in here and try to take another one, it looks like. So there's your 5th place finisher, Robbie Armstrong, as we're going to try to see if we can get our next driver in here.
Clyde Smith.
Let's see. Is it Clyde Smith? Let's see if we can find him here.
He's down here in Bad Boys Racing.
There we go. Matt Clyde Smith, you got a copy?
Yep.
Well, I know you got to be disappointed. I mean, you almost led the entire race, minus a handful of laps here and there. But you went a long time on those tires. Tell us about your night.
Man, I feel like I've been robbed. No, it was I had another set. I could have came in and got 4 more tires at one point, but I figured that #1 starting spot was more important, so I just tried to ride it out, and I was getting good restarts, and then when Getty got in 2nd, then he was kind of getting good jumps, so it kind of worried me a little bit, but he made a good move there for the win.
Yeah, 10-4. That's actually what we were speculating on. We were wondering if you had already used up all your tires, but yeah, we saw that you only made 1 pit stop throughout the night. But I mean, great racing. I will say, if we gave out awards for cleanest car, I mean, you definitely have the cleanest vehicle out there, because it was a lot of bumping and grinding in the back.
Yeah, that's the key to the short tracks, is try to stay out front and keep your car clean. But I kind of took a gamble when I did pit, going to the back, but I worked my way through it, and luckily on the next caution everybody else pitted, so I got to start first on the next restart.
Yeah, 10-4. Mr. Wellborn, do you have any questions for Clyde Smith?
I want to know where my chicken's at.
Well, I've not gotten around to put one on the car yet, so I got to get to that here in the next week.
All right. Well, I'll let you slide this week then.
Yeah, because I need one for this series and the winter series.
All righty, brother. Well, congratulations on your top 4 finish.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yep. Steven Turner, if we can find him. I got him. He's in the waiting room. Just bring him right on up.
All right, and our third place finisher, Steve Turner. Mr. Turner, do you have a copy?
Hey, Eric, how's it going?
Another week, and I get to talk to you yet again. So, how was your race?
Kind of up and down. We're running pretty good. We qualified 10th, about mid-pack. Worked our way up pretty quick. Figured we had about a top 3 car, and then got up to, I think, 4th or 5th. Did a self-spin, and then got caught up in a couple other incidents, but ended up coming back and almost getting second out of it, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, I saw that when we saw that last restart. I was like, looks like Steve's going to end up getting second, and I think you were the inside of Getty at one point also. So, I mean, you definitely had the opportunities on the very short runs that we had. Did you think we had anything for the longer runs? Because I think the fastest car out there on the long run was Bowman all night long.
Yeah, I don't think I was that fast in the long run. I was decent, probably like top 5 on long run, but I was definitely top 2 or 3 on a short run. So that's kind of what I was hoping for. I didn't have enough speed at the end there. I needed to really use all the racetrack up off the corner to get around the 31, and if I would have done that, I would have taken him out. So I just settled in and stuck with third.
Yeah, 10-4. David, do you have any questions for Mr. Turner? You haven't had the chance to interview him yet. I don't think so.
No, Mr. Turner, glad to see you back here racing. I think we've seen you run, what, 3 or 4 with us?
This is my second weekend now.
I thought you run something in our Cup Series or something like that one time.
Nope, I just joined last week. I ran last week at New Smyrna, and then I also did the fun race you guys did at Watkins Glen on Monday or Tuesday last.
All right, that's where I seen the name at. All right, well, congratulations on your 3rd place finish.
Hey, thank you, sir.
And you go ahead and give your shout-outs real quick if you'd like to.
Yeah, just shout out to DRL for inviting me in the league. You guys put on a good broadcast. We'll get the car taped up. It's looking pretty banged up on the broadcast there, and we'll come back next week and see if we can get a W out of it.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate you joining us. It's Steve Turner, our 3rd place finisher. Let's see if we can't get our 2nd place finisher, Nathan Jurgensen. Mr. Jurgensen, do you have a copy?
Hey, how's it going? Can you read me?
We hear you loud and clear. How you doing?
Pretty good. That was a fun race.
Well, I have to ask you one thing first. It's pronounced Jurgensen, correct?
Yeah, Jurgensen, like jerk.
Okay. It's a little bit of a mouthful to say during the broadcast, so I'm going to have to get myself used to it.
It's like the hand lotion.
Yeah, call me whatever.
Okay. Well, after 150 laps, I mean, you were flirting with the top 2 or 3 all night long. You, Getty Buckner, Matt Clydesmith, and Tater Bowman. Give us a taste of how your race was.
I was pacing, so it was kind of hard to get in the groove, and I don't think I had the best short run speed. I think I really had good long run speed. I wasn't pushing it too hard all race, so it's kind of a bummer that we were stop and go all race. But I think the pit strategy was right, and Getty and Matt, those guys were super fast. Steve too, ran side by side with Steve for a lot of laps, and that was really clean and really fun.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, one thing that kind of stinks about racing anywhere for that matter, I mean, it is sometimes I can't tell you how many races I've went in there and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to kick back, relax, let some laps wind down. And of course, those races are the races that are caution after caution after caution. But if I decide I want to push it and go as fast as possible, those are the races that turn into those long green flag runs. So, I mean, that's one of the tricks to racing in general is just, you have to play almost a guessing game to figure out if it's going to be long or short runs all night long.
Yeah, and this is only my 2nd time ever in a league race here, and so I don't, don't want to cause a mess. My first time out here, I want to introduce myself right, be quick, be clean, and you know. So I just want to thank you guys for doing this. I can't do this series every week, but I'll be doing the winter series, so I'm excited for that. John Theodore, I was spotting for him in the playoffs during the Cup season, and was really impressed with the kind of all that you guys are doing here with DRL. So I wanted to jump in, and thanks for having me.
That's where I've heard your voice from. Okay, I watch a lot of John Theodore, so that's where I know that voice from. So well, he didn't quite get the win, of course, but I mean he definitely tried quite a bit. So I'm definitely glad that you're in the league along with him. Obviously he's not racing in this, but I'm sure he'll be back for the A series come February.
At 10-4, that'll be fun.
All right, Mr. Jurgensen, go ahead and get your shout outs out.
I'll just shout out John. I'll shout out. I made this paint schemes. Neil Bonnet, 1993 paint scheme when he ran a couple races. So shout out my paint scheme.
It looks great. It looks fantastic. All right. Well, that's our second place finisher, Nathan Jurgensen. As now we are going to get our winner of the race. We all know his name, Getty Buckner. Getty, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Wow. I mean, I think you literally went to the front, to the back, to the front. I don't know how many times. So, I mean, you definitely get the award, if anything, for passing the most cars tonight. Tell us about your night.
Well, it started out pretty good. As soon as I unloaded here, I was pretty quick, surprisingly so, since I've never really been here, except for I think I've done one official race before, earlier in the year or something like that. But the weather was perfect. We had good, nice, cool temps. So we had lots of extra grip. It kind of promoted a second lane, which I was able to use to my advantage. I think a couple drivers pointed out I was one of the few drivers able to actually power on the outside here. But got that pole. As soon as I saw the lap times, I knew I had a chance, and I led the first however many laps, and just got off sequence with the pits. Kleinschmidt, he almost had this race perfect. But I was able to get through. I think I got involved in a wreck with I think there was 13 cars, something like that. But able to drive through it all, used all my tires up, and at the end I was able to get past Matt on that restart. And a huge shout out to Matt for racing me clean. Nathan and I had some side-by-side stuff, so I know there were some cautions, but honestly, with the racing that I was around, there was a lot of good battles tonight. So it was a good race overall, obviously.
Was the cars a handful to handle?
I had an issue in practice on exit of 1 and 2. If I exited a little too low, the rear end would kick out almost without warning. So it was hard. That's why I decided to do most of my passing on the outside, because if kind of pinching those cars down there, they have to be a little bit more careful with the throttle. Otherwise, I didn't. Maybe I had just the perfect brake bias or something like that, but I had really no issues in the race. In practice, I spun out probably. I think I had 56 incident points in practice. All those from me just spinning off of 1 and 2 basically. And but in the race, with race pace and stuff like that, I didn't really have any issues with handling. The only time I had a problem with handling is when I got involved with contact with another car.
Well, you did definitely run a good race here tonight. You started on the pole. You're going to finish first. I guess you're going to gain a little bit in the point standings. What do you think?
Yeah, my Sunday nights kind of freed up a little bit. I wasn't able to run the first few, and I knew that once I didn't wreck on the first lap like I had in the other 2 Pro Series races, it was going to be a better race.
Say nothing. You brought it up.
Well, it was fun.
Didn't you finish 5th last week?
Yes, I did, but that was just by virtue of surviving. I did not have a 5th place car. A matter of fact, my car blew up during post-race interview.
Well,
it was done. It was cooked. But I did get that top 5. It was nice.
Well, what I understood about racing, it doesn't matter if it's an inch or a mile.
That's true. That's a good point.
And
but no.
If you blow a tire or have to have a lucky pennies taped to the dash of that thing, that's racing.
Right. No, I got pretty lucky. just being able to maneuver through, I basically planned my tire strategy so that it was every 50 laps I get 4 fresh ones. And then there at the end, I just had the fresher tires than Matt and was able to outrace him. Not because of skill level or because Matt was slow. It was just because, the most important thing in auto racing is tires, and I just had the better set. So I got pretty lucky. A decent restart there, restarting on the outside. I thought I was going to be more involved with the battle with Nathan to keep second, but I got that little bit of a jump on him, and I was able to actually maneuver my way to battle Matt for the lead and get my first DRL win tonight. It was pretty special.
Yeah, once Jason started battling Turner, you just checked out there, brother.
Yeah, no, and in the beginning of the race, I was able to check out too. That's why I knew if I could get to the front, it wouldn't be an issue. But getting there was tough. I didn't reclaim the lead until almost the end. So
yeah, 8 laps to go. Well, get your shout outs, brother. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to ask you just said this is your first DRL ever race.
This is my first ever DRL win. I finished second. I finished second in the Cup Series. I've finished second in the Grand National Series. I finished second in the Winona Road Truck Series. 2 Matt Kleinschmidt at Gateway, as a matter of fact. I have the top 5s. I have laps led. I have the top 10s. Just never got that win. So that's why tonight is extra special to finally get it. Oh, there goes that engine.
Nice. Well, hopefully you turn into a regular Casey Kane and Chase Elliott now at this point, because I know both of them are known for their second place finishes and then going on a winning streak. So
no,
it's make out of this.
If I was going to get a win somewhere, I thought it was going to be in the Winter Oval Series at like Rockingham or Michigan. I did not think I'd come to a short track because I'm not. I'm almost notoriously not an aggressive driver. My teammates actually yell at me frequently for not putting the hammer down. Give people too much space. So to come to a short track and actually race my way through the field and get a win, very, very surprising because this is not, my skill set doesn't translate all that well. Just got lucky with speed and tires, honestly.
But you did an awesome job out there tonight, that's for sure.
No, it was great. And shout-outs, as far as shout-outs go, first of all, I got to thank DRL TV, everyone involved with that. Eric, our newest broadcaster, doing a great job. David, the workhorse, putting in his 1,000th broadcast, I'm pretty sure.
I almost
DRL,
I almost didn't broadcast tonight. I was just sitting here, didn't have nothing better to do, and then we had some stream key issues. So, last minute jump in, I'm ready to go.
Right. No, and to have people like that is incredible. That's why DRL is where it's at today. And a shout out to just DRL in general. Tonight, we've got a lot of new faces, a lot of new drivers. As an administrator of this league, it's great to see the new guys come out and compete and be excited. And it's also great to beat them, might I add. And it's just great to be part of it. I'm really excited for the Winter Series in Road and Oval and leading up to February when we start our oval stuff in our 3 main series. But of course, I got to thank SGK Racing, which involves me and Andy. I have to thank DPR, who I raced and practiced with tonight for a couple hours. Tater Bowman, Chris Pope, Chris James, Brandon Dalton joined us tonight. Radar, or I guess you know him as Taylor Butcher Benjamin, that was spotting for us. It's a huge team effort, and it was great to see, everyone come out and have fun. And you can't ask for any more than that. And finally, as I always do, I got to thank my beautiful wife for allowing me to put the time in that's necessary for me to get better and start winning some of these.
Well, awesome.
10-4, all of us need to thank our wife a couple times on this broadcast, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing to get good at if you're not putting in the time, and I'm putting in the time, and the results are happening, and that doesn't happen unless you have understanding from your support system at home. So it's great to have that, of course.
Yeah, mine's just ready to kill me.
But yeah, no.
Well, let's wrap this thing up so that way David can actually be alive tomorrow. Race at Skippy Barber's.
Yeah. Right, and
well, that was your winner, Getty Buckner. And one thing that surprised me, first ever DRL win. That's I honestly I can't believe that.
I can't.
All right, David.
I can believe it because getting a win here in DRL is not an easy task to do. I mean, it really isn't. You got so much competitiveness going on, and drivers from all skill sets. I mean, if you look at the Skippy Barbers, you see guys in there with 450 I rating all the way up to 3,000 I rating. And then when you come into these oval cars, whether it be this car or the Grand Nationals, the trucks or whatever, the same thing. You got skill level from 500 and some I rating points all the way up to 7,000 with Garrett Maines. So I rating to me just doesn't make that much of a difference. I don't go on I rating. I go on the skill of the driver and his ability to get around the track. Because if you look at my I rating, it sucks. But I feel that I'm an average driver.
I would second that because mine is. I've only been consistently above 2,000 like a month, and I've always been hovering around 18 and 1900. But I consider myself at the very least an average driver, if not above average. So.
Well, I'm a filler. That's all I am. But again, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we were here at the Five Flags. Let's get our unofficial results in real quick before we go through all this. You want to walk through it?
Yeah, I can walk through it real quick. Of course, Getty Buckner with the win. Started on the pole and you would think he would have dominated, but unfortunately some accidents got him wound in the back. Nathan Jurgensen finishing second. Steve Turner coming home third. Matt Kleinschmidt, he's got to be a little disappointed, leading the most laps, coming home fourth. Robbie Armstrong, once again, he's our sleeper of the entire DRL, so he comes home in fifth place like he always does. Sixth place, PJ O'Leary. Seventh is going to be Richard Thomas. Eighth is going to be Chris James. Ninth is Justin Allen. And then we get to, believe it or not, all those guys finished on the lead lap. And then in 10th place, Brandon Dalton. And then Tater Bowman comes home 11th. David Lindahl comes home in 12th. Martin Wenzel comes home 13th. 14th is Mike Lemon. He had a very quiet night, actually. He did leave almost 100 laps ago, unfortunately. Chris Pope comes home 15th, and Ben Izinga finishing in 16th.
Well, it's not a bad go around here for these gentlemen on this short track. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our next race in this series is going to be at Martinsville. Please come back and join us Sunday, December the 9th for that race, 190 laps. More short track beating and banging. I can guarantee you it's going to be just like tonight. A bunch of cars tore up, but it's going to be a lot of fun watching these gentlemen get around this track here for sure at Martinsville Speedway on December the 9th. Our very next broadcast is going to be in our Skippy cars. Look forward to doing that tomorrow night at Watkins Glen. 25 laps. We're going to be doing the boot. So it's going to be a long, long race. Even for 25 laps, it's going to be a handful. Every time you go around that track, it's going to be a handful.
It's going to be a draft fest for sure. It's essentially making the Skippy Barbers run in Talladega.
I don't know about drafting for me. I just want to survive it. I love Watkins Glen. I love me some Skippies. So if I can finish anywhere just on the outside of the top 10, I'll be happy. But
10-4.
Do the credits. Do you want to do the credits or what?
No, you could get it.
Okay. Well, as
I can't see it right now, so.
All right. Well, always, we want to thank James Pandolf and Tater Bowman for everything they do here at DRL, for putting this league together. Tater for our financial backing and support through that. He also handles our marketing as well. We'll just kind of run through this real quick. Got Martin Wenzel and Jordan Gonzalez who bring us everything you see here in DRL TV. Thank you, gentlemen, for all the work you do. Martin, you do a great job at putting up dates here for these graphics. Love you, brother. Can't get enough of your stuff. Broadcasters are myself, David Welborn Jr., Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Martin Wenzel, Getty Buckner, Ryan Branch, Jason Taylor, James Pandolf, and Eric Weatherholtz. The administrators in this league are Tater Bowman, myself, Martin Wenzel, Getty Buckner, James Pandolf, and Ryan Branch. The administrator race control for our Cup Series was Tater Bowman. Administrator race control for our Grand National Series was Martin Wenzel. Administrator race control for our Winona Road Truck Series was Getty Buckner. Administrator for our Pro Series is James Pandolf. Our RC is Weatherholtz, and also our broadcaster. Administrative race control for our Oval Series, we have not yet set it up, or if we have, we haven't updated our credits yet. Administrative race control for our Skiffies is Getty Buckner. Getty, appreciate all you do, brother. Good night. Congratulations on your win. You well deserved that one. Well, anything you want to add to this broadcast before we sign off here, Eric?
Well, honestly, I can't wait to get to Martinsville. Obviously, I can't stress to everybody that this week is actually starting our Oval Series. So definitely tune in Tuesday and Wednesday night. I don't think we've figured out exactly who's streaming and who's race controlling what yet, but I know I will be racing Wednesday night. Are you planning on broadcasting either night, David?
Yeah, I'll be broadcasting on Wednesdays. Branch will be broadcasting on Tuesdays. Unfortunately, I will not be running either one of those series. Just not gonna do it. I might pop in maybe on a Tuesday night, but as far as probably pretty much. I'm really locked into the Skippy Barbers, man. I just really wanted to do some.
You're committed
racing.
to them.
Yeah, I'm committed to my Skippy Barbers this season, in the off season. But other than that, we're gonna have we got a lot going on here at DRL. And we're going to have a lot more going on in the future here, especially when we start back up. So I believe our cutoff, I'm pretty sure we have cut off now for our winter series, starting up for signing up and taking applications. But if you still want to get in DRL, please put in your application for our 2019 series starting in February.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously February we're going to have plenty of open spots. I mean, we're going to have 3 fields. We need 40, 40, and 32 for the Cup, Grand National, and Truck Series. So we'll definitely take it all we can. And honestly, as of right now, for Tuesday and Wednesday nights, we may end up having cut qualifying because we have more than 40 in each field right now, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait for this next week.
Well, if we have more than 40, I believe we'll have what they call a race-off, qualifying race-off or whatever, pre-race. So we'll figure out something. We're going to get everybody in that wants to race for sure. We'll figure out something. We always do. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude our broadcast here this evening for our DRL Pro Series. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Sorry about the bad stream there at the beginning of the race. Hopefully it will clear up once it processes, but last minute thing, and I didn't have a chance to restart this computer before doing so, my apologies for the broadcast. But anyway, Eric, great pleasure broadcasting with you here tonight.
Absolutely, it was a lot of fun. I can't wait to do it again.
Well, that just may happen. I'll be sitting back on Sunday nights just to make sure that everything goes off without a hitch, and if not, I'll try to restart my computer next time and make sure that we're good to go on that end, just in case. But it's your show. Appreciate it. Let me jump in here with you tonight. Had a lot of fun.
Absolutely, it was a ton of fun, and I will be doing it again tomorrow night. But I'll get to see you on the racetrack. So,
God, don't jinx me. But,
no, I'm bringing you nothing but good luck. Don't worry.
Well, I do love me some Skippies though. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude our broadcast. Good night. God bless. And please join in for our DRL TV series each and every week.